Hey, I'm going to tell you a fun story today. So, this one's about a scholar who is a very arrogant one and who thought a lot about himself. So, he would go up to, a lot of people who were claimed to be intelligent or wise and ask them to give him a test or a problem to solve so that he could prove to them as to how wise and how capable he was. One day, this scholar of ours reached the abode of a Sufi mystic, a Sufi master, and he did what he did with every other wise man or scholarly man that he had met in his life, and said to the master, "I've heard a lot about you, but I do want to prove to you that I am as wise or as intelligent as you are. So why don't you, give me a problem and I'll solve it for you so you can see how wise I am." The Sufi mystic, being the wise man that he was, smiled and said, IHMN. The scholar was a little puzzled. He said, "What do I do with those 4 letters?" And the mystic just smiled again and for just one more time repeated, IHMN. The scholar was puzzled, but he had a very big ego, so he couldn't concede that he hadn't understood the problem even. And so he went out and started looking for the solution or the answer to what the Sufi mystic had given to him. Weeks went by and then months, and the scholar couldn't really come up with any answer or even a direction for the 4 letters IHMN. And a little disillusioned, he came back to the abode of the Sufi mystic, and unfortunately when he got there, he learned that the master had recently passed on. Now he was even more dejected because this time he not only had he not been able to solve a problem, but he would not ever know the answer. Looking at him, one of the Sufi master's disciples, a senior disciple, walked up to him and said, "Are you still wondering about those 4 letters that our master gave you? Are you still wondering about IHMN?" And the scholar looked up, a little surprised, but kind of glad that someone had asked, and said, "Yes, I am wondering indeed. Can you help me understand what those words mean and what the answer to that problem is?" To which the disciple, the senior disciple of the late Sufi mystic, said, "Well, you shouldn't worry much about it, because that is just an acronym for a Persian phrase, which literally means these words don't mean anything. In Haraf, Mani Nadran." So it literally translates to, these letters have no meaning. The scholar was further puzzled and he asked the disciple, "Why would your master give me such a weird problem to solve, especially if it has no meaning?" So the disciple, who was a very senior disciple and he learned many things from his master, said to the scholar, "When a donkey approaches you, you throw him cabbages." And that, my friends, is one of the most beautiful things about this story. When a donkey approaches you, the donkey wants to think of himself as someone very important, and no matter what you throw at him, he's gonna go at it as if it's the most important task in the world. So you throw a cabbage at the donkey and the donkey is going to munch on it, thinking that he's solving world hunger. And how many times have we ourselves been these donkeys? How many times do you think there have been opportunities to do something really beautiful, really magnificent, and we've wasted our time and energy and many other things in trying to, do things that just prove how smart, talented, intelligent, and strong we are, instead of really doing something meaningful. And this is so pertinent because the wise always know where to put their energy. So if we're not donkeys, we will not get thrown cabbages. So let's just, kind of think of this a little when we approach the various different opportunities in life, and make sure that one way or the other we are smart enough to not be donkeys. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you got the essence of it, because I think it's really beautiful and it's got a lot for us to carry with us in our lives. If you enjoyed it, do let me know. I appreciate your time, like always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one, folks.